I've talked a big game about experimenting more in Marvel Snap. Today is Tuesday. Yesterday was the first Mid-Decks Monday over on Twitch, and I experimented and experimented and experimented until I ended up with this list, which is the most successful of the decks that I played, and it is not something that anyone has done before. This is the list. It is a Domino Afflict list without Luke Cage, put together by Husky Puppies, largely to take advantage of Domino's new buff. And I honestly felt like there was real potential in this list. A lot of what I've been trying to do is experiment, play more widely, try a little bit of things that are a little bit off meta that might have some potential. And Domino, I don't think people are aware of this, has long been one of the cards that I've really wanted to play. She's just never been good enough for me to actually justify putting in the deck. But one of my favorite feelings in any card game is just curving out into a win. I like the simplicity of it. And in Marvel Snap, there's added layers of curving out in terms of where your points go. And I really appreciate that a card like Domino is at least quasi-playable here. This is also a home for my absolute favorite card in the game, or one of them, in Anti-Venom. And it's an archetype that I have long been a fan of, in large part because Anti-Venom is such an important part of the Afflict archetype, and I love playing decks like this. This is the kind of deck that has largely fallen off because the Afflict archetype has shown itself relatively unable to compete on power with other powerful Jug and Tech kind of decks right now. And so what this is trying to do is update the Afflict archetype for the 21st century, so to speak. What we're trying to do here is allow this archetype to be a Juggernaut deck. Give us access to Luna Snow into a 4 and Juggernaut in the same way that like a Redshift deck has access to that. And so that is what this deck is really able to accomplish, is be a sort of modern take on Affliction without actually worrying about just being a mopey numbers only deck, which is largely the downfall of Affliction as an archetype in the larger context when it's built normally. The only 2-drop we play that isn't named Domino is Shadow King, and that's because Shadow King is not a 2-drop. He's a card we play on the final turn of games. He is our way of undoing the damage that an Anti-Venom could do, and our way of combating all of the green power cards in this current metagame. A very viable choice, and a card that is in here not as a 2-drop, just as a card that has the text that it has, not a curve card, just shows up for the effect. Domino herself is a weird experience to play because you'll look at every single hand you get, and then you'll look at it and just be like, oh my god, this hand sucks. I don't have any plays on turn 1 and 2. And then you realize, oh yeah, I'm drawing Domino on 2. It's actually fine. Domino as a 2/4 actually helps you compete with various priority-based mechanics in the game, allowing you to have access to early Juggernauts if you need them. It's a genuinely decent choice here, but largely it's here in order to allow for greater selection of 3-cost cards, getting cards like Juggernaut and Gladiator and Luna Snow, powerful, fairly generic cards, into a shell that is otherwise very specific and unable to accommodate them. I played a lot of turn 3 Diamondbacks with a deck like this. She's just a very solid lane-winning 3-drop, an extremely powerful card in the context of all of your other cards that are able to afflict your opponent's cards with debuffs. Diamondback makes them so much more weak when that happens. A very, 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 very powerful 3-drop, effectively playing as a 3/11 a decent amount of the time, and that is really good. You are still an Affliction deck, you do play Hazmat, but one absence here is probably worth talking about, and that is the absence of Luke Cage. Luke Cage is a great card, but right now I would rather curve out the other stuff. If you want to try to get Luke Cage in, you can maybe try for Copycat, but part of what this deck is trying to do is not be like that. In addition, having no Luke Cage means that your ability to Hazmat the entire board and thus make an even larger Ajax than anyone would ever expect is notable. Nobody plays around Juggernaut in this deck, and so he's going to get absolutely insane value. The unseen Juggernaut is always the deadliest. This guy is an absolute monster in the current metagame, has been an absolute monster for a while, will continue to be an absolute monster until he is nerfed. Anytime you can get a Juggernaut in a deck people don't play around Juggernaut against, you are going to farm 8-cubers. Copycat's a flex slot. She's just here to do her usual thing. Good stats, good value, get pulled by Malekith sometimes at a 3/5 rate. That's what she's doing here. You need need threes in a deck where you're playing Domino. She's a very good 3. Everything I just said about Copycat applies to Luna Snow, except Luna Snow also gives us access to 7 energy on turn 6, which allows us to which allows us to Juggernaut plus a 4-drop. That play pattern is fairly common. Luna Snow, pretty damn good right now. Also, you know, pull it from a Malekith, and that is a 4/12. Just very, very good Malekiths in a deck like this. One of the major advantages of being a Domino deck is how ridiculous your Malekiths are on average. Gladiator's a 3/8, but honestly, he sells a ton right now. I know that I said Copycat was a bit of a flex slot. Gladiator is a guy that I honestly kind of hate a lot of the time. So definitely also a flex slot, but does have massive upside. I mean, like, you pull him off Malekith. We already talked about that. It's 4/14. Very, very good. Just having a 3/8, very, very good. Being able to pair powerful 3s with Juggernaut in the world where we don't have Luna Snow, also quite important. That's sort of what he's doing here. Malekith is probably better in this deck than he is in basically anything else because of the average quality of 3s, and sort of by concert, like, Anti-Venom is a little worse in this deck than he is in any other Afflict deck. I guess it's probably worth talking about them both at the same time, because this is a much better Malekith deck than it is an Anti-Venom deck because of the good stats on your 3s. As much as I love this guy, he is a little fringy here in large part because of the lack of Luke Cage and the good stats that our 3s often have. If you want to mess around with getting a Luke Cage in here, he gets a lot better, but it does cost us some of those stats. Part of why I'm covering this deck is because I think it's a little bit sort of underserved. Not enough people have played it and experimented with it and tried to make it better. And I think that there is something here in terms of adapting to the current metagame. We know things like Juggernaut and Negasonic are really good against the Invisible Woman decks. So adapt to the existence of those decks by getting these in there. That's sort of the idea. This guy's like a billion stats, just a huge, huge, huge guy. We're in a metagame that is very focused around like cheap cards with synergy. That means that this guy is very often playing for a trillion. Speaking of playing for a trillion without Luke Cage in the deck, if you have Ajax Hazmat, you are doing a like 25 power Ajax. And that's pretty good. 25 power for 5 plus the Hazmat. It's not something to sneeze at. We're about to jump into the gameplay, but let me know what you thought of a video like this. I really wanted to try to like follow through on my promise to be a bit more experimental, to be a bit more of a content guy, to be a bit more willing to dive into decks that I was pretty sure weren't the best deck in the game, but I thought had some real potential to show what people were actually able to do. This is I know people might not look at that as this for me, but like to me, being able to play a Domino deck in High Infinite is crazy. And I think that that is an awesome, awesome place for this series to start. Shout out to being lucky. I wish that was me. Thank you so much for watching. I've been KMBest. You've been phenomenal. I will see you in the next one. We're going to jump into some gameplay.
Explain it. Like, what do you mean? Why can they only put stature middle?
Right on time.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Why? Like, I don't understand. Why? Early hazmat. No. I mean, what are we doing here? I'm definitely dead. I can't retreat. Go right now? Nah. Two, 12. We just win here? Does this win us the game? What do we lose to if we snap here? Cannon mid. Don't we beat that with this play? We end up with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or 14. Yep, math. Pretty sure we won. Okay, this hand actually is bad. Never mind, it's goated. We have a 2, a 3, and a 4. Holy shit, amazing deck building. Holy shit, it's so good. Our deck building goes so insane here. Holy fuck.
Right on time.
Bye-bye, Fenris. That's what I got, I think. Four to 6, baby. Now, all I gotta do is not pull a goddamn Spectrum off my Gladiator, correct? It's really all I gotta do is not pull a goddamn Spectrum off my Gladiator or some other shit that meaningfully buffs their Crown City. What do we think? Okay, we're good. That time we actually did play around in Negasonic. RG is probably right over Copycat. I don't know. I mean, I believe that Copycat could be something else. I'm not sure I believe that it's supposed to be Red Guardian. Like what? We're dead to Luke Cage? Who gives a shit? Nobody plays that card. Like it's like saying an ongoing deck is dead to Enchantress, and so it needs to play like some shit to beat Enchantress. It's like just don't get Enchantress. Much better idea. And if like it's Cerebro, we don't beat that shit anyway. Who gives a fuck? We don't beat Cerebro in a million years. It's chill.
What are the odds?
Honestly, Hundo P chill. You know what? That could fuck me. I probably shouldn't play it on Spider Island. I just like playing stuff on Spider Island, and I think it's fun. Incredible. Incredible shit. Okay, well, the good news is it's gone. The bad news is it's coming back. Outrageous. I mean, when do they go for it? Oh, fuck.
Opponent snapped.
Am I dead? Why do you skip? I do not know. Probably She-Hulk, some shit like that. I just don't know. Can't believe I wasted my jug on that. Dude, I was thinking about snapping back. Making a different play. Holy shit, we got him. I should have snapped back. That's actually insane. They're just fucking insanely dead. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? I was pretty sure. Oh. Yo, she sucks. Hit her. Thank God. We're not playing her ass anyway. That's a card we're not playing. Saw a failed jug and got excited. I don't really get it. Like, I'm pretty happy with how that went down. I feel like they snapped the shit out of it and it was like, all right. What did Cat hit? Green Goblin.
Always
It's a
lucky.
green goblin. Very funny. Costs them the energy on the next turn, which I don't mind. So, are we Malekithing or AVing? I think it's a Malekith angle because I think he's probably better in this context than that we have it. I'm thinking they also might go boom boom on the Mindscape, perhaps. Really? No. Okay. So they have a few cards. How big is Hazmat going to make our shit? Because, like, low-key, I'm not opposed to this. It's just a 50-50. Go left. Yep. Yep. Whoa, motherfucker. Yep. Yep. That's fucking crazy the way that worked out. That's fucking crazy the way that worked out. The interactions of multiple polymorphs there. Christ. Oh, pretty good. Oh, it's bad now. We have just nothing we want to put there. Fuck. I don't want to put a domino in there, but is that actually what I have to do? Oh. We're just gonna say we'll figure it out, but that seems quite bad. Oh, I like that. I'll shimmy it over. Cool. It's chill.
What are the odds?
It's chill. We have the shimmy that shit back over to them angle. Shimmy that shit right back over. All right. Well, I would like my Shadow King, please. Another Morgan deck. This. Seems good. I pray they don't run Killmonger. I mean, honestly, with the Juggernaut in hand, I don't think I give a shit. Like, this stuff's cool as hell. I'm with them. It's cool.
Gotta run, hun.
Both same place. They could win this if they're sniping, basically. The reason I didn't want to jug left is because there's this thing under it, which means I kind of just win left regardless. I kind of think it's this. We can't lose? Yeah, we can. It won't happen, trust. So true, best. The hood went left. Nice rocket. Nice Nico. Anyway, so this is why we did it like this. Check this shit out. Whack. Fucking most busted card on earth, Shadow King.